People who were born in the 1970s tend to carry a particular way of thinking about life. It's not something they announce, it's something you notice over time. They're usually less reactive, less surprised by difficulty, less convinced that life owes them clarity before it moves forward. Their mindset was shaped in a world that didn't explain itself constantly. They grew up during a period where things simply were. You adapted to them or you didn't. There wasn't much discussion around how you felt about it, and there wasn't an expectation that the world would slow down so you could process. That environment quietly taught a lesson early. Life keeps going. So people born in the 1970s tend to approach problems differently. They don't always rush to label experiences as good or bad. They assess first. They observe. They wait to see how things unfold before reacting. This creates adults who are often pragmatic rather than dramatic. When something breaks, their instinct is to fix it. When something goes wrong, they look for what's practical. When life becomes uncomfortable, they endure instead of escalating. Not because they don't feel stress, but because stress feels familiar. Many of them grew up watching adults carry responsibility without much commentary. Work was done, bills were paid, problems were handled quietly. You didn't hear constant explanations about why things were hard. You just saw people get on with it. That modeling shaped their mindset. Responsibility didn't feel optional. Self-reliance wasn't a philosophy. It was normal. As a result, people born in the 1970s often don't expect rescue. They don't assume help will arrive immediately. They try to manage what's in front of them first. This can look like strength, and often it is. But it also creates a particular relationship with emotions. When you grow up in an environment where feelings aren't regularly centered, you learn to manage them privately. You don't ignore them. You just don't externalize them as much. Many people from this generation feel deeply, but process quietly. They don't always need to talk something through to understand it. They think, they sit with it, they move forward. This is why they're often perceived as calm, steady, or emotionally contained. Their mindset isn't built around constant expression, it's built around functionality. There's also a different relationship with time. People born in the 1970s grew up without instant answers. Waiting was normal. Delays were expected. Progress happened slowly. So they tend to tolerate uncertainty better. They don't need everything resolved immediately. They're less unsettled by not knowing what's next. They trust that clarity will come with time and effort, not urgency. That patience shapes how they handle relationships, careers, and change. They're less likely to reinvent themselves every few years, less likely to chase trends, more likely to commit even when things are imperfect. But this mindset also has limits. When you're used to being capable, you may struggle to ask for support. When you're used to managing quietly, you may underestimate how heavy things have become. People born in the 1970s often carry more than they show. They don't announce exhaustion easily. They don't always recognize burnout until it's deep, because they were taught, implicitly, that being functional meant being fine. Still, there's something grounding about this mindset. It's a way of moving through life that isn't driven by constant comparison or visibility. A way of valuing steadiness over speed, depth over display. The psychology of people born in the 1970s isn't about toughness for its own sake. It's about having learned early on that life doesn't pause for explanation, and discovering that you can meet it anyway, that you can adapt, that you can endure, that you can build meaning slowly without needing it to be witnessed. And in a world that now moves faster than ever, that mindset feels quietly distinct. Not louder, not better, just different.